it to Iceland. It's fresh out here. It's raining. It's not freezing though. But I'm just waiting for the bus. I've got like a bus that I'm waiting for. It's not here yet. It's called Flybus. Not Flybus. Airport direct. I've made it to Iceland. I've just caught the bus into the city centre and they've dropped me off the closest to my hotel, which is right by the massive church, the very famous church here. It's currently lit up like pinky purple and it's slowly changing colours and you can see the like lights in there, which is really cool. So I think I'm going to just stop, maybe take a couple of shots with my camera. It is raining and I can always walk down another night, but just in case the weather isn't amazing, I think I'm gonna take a couple of shots now. But it's very cool. And yeah, I've made it. Morning. Day one in Iceland. First day in Iceland. Got in quite late last night. Oh, it's very, very blue. I mean, it is very blue out there. Like the white balance is not really doing, although it does look quite blue. Anyway, so I'm here for the next 2 weeks. Poor Caitlin, she was supposed to be flying home to Oz last night from London and her flight got cancelled. They sort of didn't say anything to them and then all of a sudden it was like delayed for 3 hours and then cancelled due to there being a broken part with the plane or something that they fixed, but it's still broken, and then the crew had done over their hours, something like that. Anyway, they haven't really communicated very well with them. They put them up in a hotel last night at the airport, and then she heard nothing this morning and then went down to reception and there was a piece of paper. They were told to check their emails and there was a piece of paper at the reception desk saying new flight time for these customers. So yeah, it's a bit annoying for her. So she's staying another night. She should be, you know, getting to the point where she's halfway home, but anyway, yeah, so she's had a bit of a crazy one. But yeah, I got in, by the time I got to the apartment here, it would have been about 10:30, nearly 11 o'clock. Obviously got dropped off by the bus near the big church. I'm not gonna, Hellagrimskir or something or other. I'll figure out how to say it eventually. But the massive church here in Reykjavik. And it was all lit up in pink and it was really cute, so took a couple of little videos and a couple of photos, but it was raining, so I had all my luggage, so I didn't sort of stop. But tonight I think I might go for a wander once it gets dark, and do some nighttime shots, do a nighttime shoot. But yeah, the apartment is gorgeous. It's like a serviced apartment. It's called Grey Apartments. And I'm in the little back one. So there's another one just above me here. And there's one around the front, and then the main street is down that way. So I'm at the back, so it's very quiet. And it's like its own little apartment. So you've got the bathroom, which it took me a little while to figure out how the shower head works with the different ones. Each one in Europe is so different, and this one, usually you twist it one way and it will be tap, you turn it the other way and it'll be the shower head. But this one took me ages, and it only turns one way and just the tap from the bath comes on. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't have a bath. But you actually turn the bath tap, you actually physically turn this, which took me a little while to figure out, but I figured it out. And when you turn that, the shower head comes on. So that was a fun little learning experience. I was gonna have a shower last night, couldn't figure it out, was too tired, so just went to bed and then had one this morning once I did figure it out. But then yes, sorry, you come into a little living room. So there's a little living area, a nice big smart TV with YouTube, Netflix, everything on that. And then you've got a kitchen area. So I wanted to book a place that had you know, cooktop and a microwave and everything, so I can actually do a lot of my own cooking, because it is quite expensive to eat out here constantly in Iceland, from what I've heard. I mean, this is my first time being here, but yeah, just to sort of budget a bit more, have some homely meals, have some breakfasts and that kind of thing. Yeah, because I'm here for 5 days, and then I go on an Intrepid tour, and then I join that for, what is it, it's like nearly a week. I think it's 6 or 7 days, and then I've got another couple of days where I've booked, I've just booked a hostel. It was really cheap. It was for a female 4-bedroom bunk dorm with a private bathroom, for 3 nights was £72. So I was like, look, for my last couple of days, I'm not going to be too fussed, but for when I first got here, I wanted the comforts of home and space and privacy kind of thing. And then there's the bedroom. So there's 2 beds. I won't pan around to my case because I've already made a mess with that. And yeah, it's everywhere, but that's the apartment. It's really, really cute. It's nice and cozy and warm. They've got radiators in every room, which are very easy to do, and just turn the dial. But yeah, so I'm gonna head out now. There is a little bakery that's just across the road that's apparently amazing here. And the reviews are crazy good. So probably gonna go get a little pastry, get a coffee, go for a bit of a wander, check out, there's a laundromat as well. I need to do some washing, so check that out. And then go to Bonus, which is the budget supermarket here. Buy up some stuff, and yeah, I'm just gonna be exploring today and then looking at booking a couple of little experiences over the next few days, to maybe go out and see one of the active volcano sites, potentially do Blue Lagoon. I could also do that when I get back. And yeah, there's a few things that my tour includes, so I need to do the research on what my tour includes versus what I'd like to see that isn't included, and try and book those experiences. So that's today, but I'm excited to be here. I'm so excited to be here. This has been on my bucket list for so long, and yeah, I really hope that in these 2 weeks I get to see the Northern Lights, because it's part of the reason why I'm here. This time of year is a good time of year to come, but the weather needs to hold off so that you've got clear skies to be able to see them. But yeah, that's why I'm here and that's what I'm doing. So I'll, yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. So I got a cinnamon scroll and it's still warm. So I'm gonna hoe into this. I'm very excited. There's also a coffee place just up here. So I'm gonna head across to the coffee place. So I've just gotten back from Bonus, which is the discount supermarkets here. There's one literally on the main strip, just around the corner. It's like a 2-3 minute walk from here. But I did do a big shop for the next 5 days, lunch and dinner, without buying too much, but trying to like tie things in together. And it came to 7,700 krona, which works out to be, it's about £45, and in Aussie dollars it's about 80 to 85 kind of thing. Rough conversion, but it's, I've gotten everything. Like I've gotten bread, I've gotten spinach, some stuff for breakfast. I got some instant noodles, which I'll make like a soup with. They had some frozen dumplings, which I thought would be nice. So I got some frozen dumplings, and then like some pasta and stuff to make a pasta. And what else did I get? Some like cheese and stuff to snack on, but I didn't go overboard. So I got enough for the next few days for lunches and dinners. If I'm off on an adventure for a day, I'll buy lunch out. But I just thought it's nice to have the option, and it's much, much cheaper than buying out, because I bought a pastry and a coffee and it was how much was the coffee? The coffee was nearly $7 Australian for a flat white. And the pastry was, I think it was around 500. So that works out to be, it's roughly like for every $100 here, it's $1 in Australian, roughly. So 500 I'm treating as like $5, and I think it was like $7.90 or something for the coffee. So I'm saying that's around $7 Australian, which is quite expensive, but it was delicious and it was really good quality. But doing that every day adds up quite a lot. So I'm going the budget route here in Iceland, for while I'm staying here at least, because I know once I'm on the tour, we're gonna be eating out a lot. So I'm just trying to save the pennies there, because I know extra activities and stuff can add up. So just want to, you know, be conscious of it. But yeah, bonus was amazing. Also, it's cool. Here they have a, it's like a walk-in fridge. So instead of having a fridge and the shelves are, you know, like it's a walk-up fridge that everywhere else in the world pretty much has, here you literally walk into a full cool room that's got all the meat, cheeses, milks, yogurts, like everything. You walk into the room. So I did a like quick little video of that. I obviously, there's people in there doing their shopping, so I don't want to be intrusive, but I thought that was very cool, and something a bit different. So yeah, I'm loving Iceland already. It's just gorgeous. The little buildings and the streets, it's just different again from what we've seen so far through Europe. But yeah, I'm really loving it already, and I've only been here like half a day, so I can't wait to see what else is around. But yeah, it's very cool already, and the vibe's lovely. So yeah, really enjoying it. This is a massive hopscotch that goes all the way up the street. Goes all the way up to the face, 107, which is very fun. The rain has started. Was photographing the Rainbow Road, which shoots up to the big church, and yes, there was a fellow photographer there asking all about camera gear and stuff. They mean well. In the photography world, you can get people that are absolutely obsessed, and that are a bit quirky, and then you get some that are just really lovely. This was one of the quirkier kind. Had to sort of make a break for it, but yeah, we're photographing that. It's really hard because so many people walk across it on the photo as well, so you just have to sit and wait and be patient and time it well when no one's standing on it. But luckily that was all before the rain hit, but it's now drizzling quite a lot, so I think, and it is late lunchtime, so I think I'm gonna head back, make some lunch, chill out, download some images for a little bit, and then hopefully it eases off and I can come back out and do some more photos. But for now it's still really lovely. Like, it's not freezing, it's cool, but it's not freezing. But now that it's damp, that's added to it, so I'm gonna go chill out for a bit. 5-ish. I'm walking along the waterside, and the sun is hitting the like island or area across the bay really nicely, and there's like some cloud cover. It's really pretty. But then there's also the sun Voyager, I think it's called. Not sure, I haven't read into it, but a lot of people are getting photos of that. It looks quite cool by the water, so just checking that out. Just had a little quick read. The Sun Voyager was created in 1990, and it replicates a boat, and it sits on some granite on the waterside as a sculpture. So that is the history of it. But yeah, it looks really nice, and with the light at the moment, the reflection's really lovely on it. So yeah, it's very cool. On the water's edge, there are like hundreds of these stacks of rocks all the way along, and then all through here people have stacked them up over by the water. But it's amazing, and everyone just sort of comes, and this guy's actually going to build one. It's so fun. Walking along, and I've come past the famous hot dog stand here, and everyone's like, you need to try the hot dogs here. I was gonna have dinner at home, but I thought this can be a little snack beforehand, but I got everything bar mustard, because I'm not a massive mustard fan, but it's got ketchup, fried onions, raw onion. It normally has mustard, and this remoulade as well, which is like mayo and stuff. So I'm gonna try it. But yum. It's just like a delicious hot dog. Yeah, the onions in this mayo remoulade is delicious. But yeah, thought I would try that while I'm out. It is a lovely morning in Iceland. There is a little bit of cloud, but it's quite sunny. I've booked a tour tonight for Northern Lights. I'm just going to pause the TV. I've been watching Taylor Jackson. He's a photographer from Canada. His Iceland series, I watched it during lockdown, I think, maybe. He's done a few. He's been back here so many times, and this one is him doing the whole country on film camera, which is quite cool. Anyway, I've booked for tonight. I'm having a bit of a slow morning because I'm going to be up late tonight, because I'm going out on a Northern Lights tour, which leaves from centre of Reykjavik. It's run by Reykjavik Excursions, I think it's called, or Experiences. And yeah, get the bus out there. It's like a 3.5 hour kind of thing. So leave at 9 o'clock and get back in at about midnight. So I'm really hoping that the lights are active tonight. If not, and you don't see the Northern Lights, they allow you to book again the next night if you're available. But looking at, there's a website, it's like the Reykjavik Bureau of Meteorology. I don't know, we call it Bureau of Meteorology in Oz, the bomb. But yeah, you can go on their website and it sort of predicts cloud cover and how active with the solar and the particles and however the aurora works. And they sort of predict if it's going to be a good night to see it and where to see it in the country. And tonight was coming up, when I was looking last night, tonight was coming up quite clear. and quite high, medium to high activity of lights. So I'm really hoping I get to see some. If not on the 5th, which is when my tour starts on the 4th. So it'll be the second night of the tour, which means we'll be out of the city. It's supposed to be clear skies and very high activity for lights. So if I don't see them tonight and I go again tomorrow night and I don't see them, then I'm hoping that during my tour, I get to see them. If not, once I get back to Reykjavik afterwards, I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm maximizing my time in trying to see them. So that's happening tonight. So yes, I've had a slow morning just because I'm gonna be up quite late tonight. I'm gonna actually do the fun stuff of washing and all of that, because need to catch up on washing before heading off on the tour. So it's nice to have a space and time to do that. So that is my day so far. I've also booked a tour. I'm not going to be able to pronounce it, but it's sort of north of Reykjavik, northwest, sort of, it's like midwest coast of Iceland, but sort of north of Reykjavik. I booked a tour for the 3rd. It's a full day, and you go and see quite a lot. It was 130 US dollars. It's about 200 Aussie dollars for the day. So yeah, they take you up there. It's like a full 12 hours and you stop at a lot of stops along the way. And I booked this one because it looked like it covered a lot, and it was a max group size of 18 people. Whereas the other one, which cost the same price, if not, I think it was like $1 more, and it was like maximum of 65 people, so it's like full bus. So I wanted to go the smaller tours. I kind of like a smaller tour, just because you sort of get more out of your guide and there's a bit more flexibility in going to places or having that little bit of extra time in places. So I went for that one. It looks really good. Reviews were great. So yeah, I've booked that as well. But the next few days in Reykjavik, originally it was supposed to be fully raining and now quite sunny and quite nice. So I'm going to go out again and enjoy the day. But yes, it's a lovely morning, so I'm excited to get out there. So washing isn't happening at the laundromat because it's closed until Thursday, which is when I have my day tour booked. So I'm not going to get an opportunity to actually use the laundromat here before I go on my trip. So hand washing in the sink is what is happening, which is really fun. At least it's going to dry pretty quick. In here is very warm. The radiators work very well. I've even got the window cracked because it's very warm in here. So hopefully I've got a couple of days of letting my stuff dry. Socks are always the worst. But yeah, that's what's happening. So it's very much an indoor day today, which is annoying because the weather is really lovely out there. So gonna do like a small load, hang it all out, then probably go and explore for a bit, then come back. If anything's dry in this space, I'll then do another load of other stuff. So yeah, but all part of it, all joy. All joy, all fun and games, so much joy. So I've just made a very easy dumpling noodle soup. It's literally just, you buy the 2-minute noodle packets of chicken. I've gone chicken noodles, you can get beef if you want. And I add a little bit of extra chicken stock to it to make it more soupy and flavorful. And then add some soy sauce, and if you've got some black vinegar, I had some balsamic, so I just put a tiny bit of balsamic in to add that bit of tang. But you can also add whatever you want in it. And then these are just frozen dumplings, which I've boiled and then pan fried. But yeah, it's a very easy and very yummy soup that I've just made. It was very cheap to make, so that's my lunch for today. So I'm currently out for a walk because I've been inside all day doing washing. It's about nearly 6 o'clock. It's about 4 degrees out here, so it's fresh. But I'm also just trialing wearing layers because tonight I'm going to be standing still for about 3 hours in the cold. At least it's not windy and raining tonight, which is a win. But I think I'll pack some gloves, a scarf. I should be fine. All right, I am heading out. It's currently 7 o'clock, so I have time. Oh, it's very dark in here. Stand by 2 seconds. That's better. Whew, it's fresh. It's very fresh. I'm gonna walk down to the, you can hear the church going. I'm walking down to the waterside to see the John Lennon memorial beam. Actually, you might be able to, I don't know if you can see, that little dot is hitting a cloud, but it's the John Lennon memorial light, the Imagine light. So I'm going to go check that out, the water, and then from there I'm going to head back up this way to catch the bus, and hopefully the skies stay clear. Yeah. So you can probably hardly see me if I turn that way. We're just out photographing the northern lights, and it's freezing. It's like so cold. But I do have my tripod set up. That way you can't see anything. But it is set up pointing towards it, and there is green coming through on the camera. So if the cloud moves, we'll see them. But yeah, it's sort of directly out in front. It keeps coming up on the camera, so hopefully I get to see something. I currently have 2 pairs of gloves on, and I'm just waiting outside out of the wind, because nothing's really showing up. There's like one spot that green is coming up on the camera, but everywhere else around this whole place it's just blue. So keeping an eye out at that end. Oh my god, I'm freezing. Morning. It's the next morning. I did a tiny bit of filming last night, but it was so cold, so it was really hard to film. One, because it was pitch black, and the only spot there was light was by the building that we were getting shelter from, because it was so windy and so cold. It's probably the coldest I've experienced in my life. And having said that, like last night wasn't freezing for Iceland. Like, there's no snow, there was no rain, it was just like wind chill. It was a bit disappointing because we didn't get to see the lights. My camera was picking up some green in the sky, like off in the distance, but it was nothing you could see with the naked eye. But just with cameras and their exposure time, like I had it on like a good 10-second exposure, so the color was coming up. But yeah, you couldn't see it with the naked eye, which means it's great. Here, if you book it, well, I booked it with Reykjavik excursions, and they have like a policy where if you don't see the lights that night, you're able to rebook for free for the next night or whenever you're next available. So I can rebook for tonight, I can rebook for tomorrow night, I could even rebook for the 4th, potentially, before I head off on my tour. But I think I'm not going to go tonight because the weather and the predictions based on the apps that we're following and that kind of thing, tonight is similar to what last night was. So there's a chance, but it's not amazing. Whereas Thursday night, so the night after next, after tonight, tomorrow night, yeah, it's more of a chance. It's quite high. There's high activity, there's low cloud cover according to predictions. So I think I'm going to rebook for that. It does mean I'll have a massive day because I am heading on the West Coast tour tomorrow, which gets back, it leaves at 8 and it supposedly gets back at 8, which works out perfectly because then the pickup time for the Northern Lights is at 8:30 p.m. at the same bus stop that I get dropped off at. So I'm hoping that there's no delays and I can actually go. Yeah, otherwise it's going to be tricky because I might miss it if we have any delays. I'm going to follow up with the travel company anyway, but just thought I would update you. It was very cool. It was a shame we didn't see it. There was so many buses, like there was probably, I think I counted maybe 12 or 13 bus traveling coaches of people at this lookout last night, and they just kept coming and coming and coming. Yeah, it was, yeah, so many people, but it's cool to see that many people out, you know, exploring Iceland, and that's like every night. So I think because of the rollover of, you didn't see it last night, you should be able to see it, and like last night was my first night, so I can imagine that there's been people, and the tour guide had said it's been, I think, maybe 4 or 5 nights now where they haven't seen any lights. So if people are still in the country, that's building up, and there's like a lot more people wanting to go see them. So that's kind of where we're at. That's what we're doing. And yeah, it was very cool. So I'm hoping that tomorrow night I get to see them, because I just can't wait. Yeah, something's been on my bucket list for so long. So yeah.